Hey everybody, welcome to another video. This time around we're going a little bigger. This is the 1/350 scale AMT Klingon Bird of Prey model. And I've got quite a bit to say about it. It's all hand painted with Vallejo paints. No airbrush used. I did not light it. I did another trick instead, which I'll show you in a few minutes. But you can see the details that I painted by hand on this model. It's layers and layers and layers of different greens and mixes and colors. One of the cool things about this is I had the old AMT kit years and years ago. And you can see the decals, the emblem, and some Klingon letters there. I had this very kit, built it, painted it, sold it. It was in the flight mode, the cruising mode, where the wings were up and level. And I just wanted one in battle mode this time. I've been doing a Klingon collection, as I've been sharing on the channel. You can see some of my Klingon figures. I think Gowron has made an appearance, and my trusty assistant over there, crew. That's my custom crew. I sculpted the face onto the head of a Christopher Lloyd Back to the Future figure and then put it on a Klingon body. And I'm doing custom stands for them too, so they got the Klingon emblem. And I got this Klingon emblem online. It's a pin, but I thought it looked better on the base somehow. It gives the base some gravity and gives the model a kind of a classier look than just, I don't know, a painted base, look like a planetoid or something. I had to make a lot of, spot decisions about how I was going to display it. Sorry about that. Weather's changing. Anyway, I kind of like going with the basic black. And this new, since this is a round 2 addition to the AMT kit, I was going to show that off. This particular one has a wonderful ball gimbal mount, which you can see. I'm going to tip it back a little bit so you can see the colors. Yeah, all that. Now, I did all that. Now, that's researched based on it's either the production model for Star Trek 3 or it's a real good copy of it. All those colors, all those shades. There's actually 2 shades of red there. I figured it was faded and chipped. So I did some, chipping and lining and, different kinds of rust. Rust is a very good color with this thing because all that green, it just looks good. Let's see if you can see some of it. There's rusty areas in there, in the lines there. Don't you just love my studio, my high-tech studio. Sorry, gang. It's not very large. I operate out of a very small space. There's some rust right there, a little bit of that. But the rust looks so good on the Klingon ship because it's all green. And as anybody that studies color knows, red and green are polar opposites on the color wheel. Therefore, very complementary. Got the engine. I used a technique another guy used when I saw his video. He said, put the shiny side of tinfoil on the inside. This is a clear piece of plastic. Put it on the inside facing out and then put clear transparent red, and I added a little fluorescent to it, so there's a little fluorescence to it. I use fluorescent paint like some people use lighting. Yeah, you'll see there's some surprise little lights here and there. So that's why I didn't light it. I'm not a big lighting person. I don't really care for models that are lit. I mean, that's fine, but they're only cool when they're plugged in or turned on. And since he's going to be on the shelf, sitting there doing what he does, I didn't want to bother. Real quick, some further stuff. Yes, there's some washes and dry brushing. I use powder, Tamiya powders, like a light powder to bring out some of the details. I really wish you could see the sharpness of that. The model has a lot of micro detailing, and if you're building it, it's really fun, to bring those details out. Now there's one guy that informed me, and I can't think of his name. I just saw his video the other day and thanked him. He added brass tubing on the end of the guns and things like that. I didn't. I chose to just drill mine out. You may or may not can even see that. It's a detail that's probably lost. More of the rust. I see the rust in there. There's a lot of rust colored stuff. Let me see if I can get anywhere where you can see it. And of course, if you watch the movie Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, while this ship is parked on Vulcan, they're under here a great deal, and it's got the word Bounty written on it, which I didn't want the Bounty. I wanted it to be the Klingon owned version. But there's a lot of rust lines, and of course it's in that ruddy Vulcan sun, so it's got the colors are shifted. I can't line it up here, but anyway, you can see the greens, black lining, all that stuff. Oh, and look at this now. I will do this. Let's turn off this overhead, make it a little darker, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my fluorescence on. Yeah, you see the windows, like the red is the bridge. The red windows, those are windows on the side there. And the other windows are just, rooms. Various and sundry rooms that it's, those are windows for decks up there. And, of course, we can't have a bird of prey without the battle end. Oh, yeah, look at all that. Yeah, I get crazy when I get my fluorescent paint going. I even have it on the lights, the light fixtures there. Anywhere that there were lights, I try to have a little bit of fun with that. I think there's a beacon light back there. You can see it, the beacon. There's some lights under there. So I do. That's a poor man's way of lighting a model. Hey, it's fun with fluorescence. And how do I get white fluorescent paint? Well, I mix fluorescent orange, blue, and yellow. And it's an interesting mix. If you don't get it just right, you don't get white. But if you do, you get a pure white color. Otherwise, it's going to be red like that. And you can do layers of transparent color over that to tone those down. So that's just some of the fluorescent tricks I used. Anyway, this is my 350 scale Bird of Prey. I'm just making the way for its older, bigger, badder brother. To me, badder. This one's a lot of people's favorite. But it's a mean ship. I gotta admit, it's a mean ship. But I like the old Katinga class, the one that's at the beginning of Star Trek the Motion Picture, and I've got the 350 scale version of that, and it's just begging to come into the screen here, but I'm not going to do it because it's going to get its own video soon. So what I'll do is we'll close out. I'll bring Commander Krug in with his ship, and we'll get a double shot of those guys together. And that'll close the video. I hope you've enjoyed what I did. This is all hand paint. You can hand paint. You don't have to use an airbrush. I'm an anti-airbrush guy. It's a tool. If you're good with it, more power to you. I just have trouble with them. I don't know. It's just not the way my brain works, so forgive me. But I like hand painting. I enjoy hand painting. It's right brain. It gets me out of my, whatever routine. And it's just fun. And I hone my craft that way. Anyway, that's enough of that. If you like the model job, like the work I did on it, please hook a like on this video. Subscribe to my channel if you have not. There is much more coming. As mentioned, the Katinga. I've got a final Jaws video coming. Yeah, I got some more Jaws stuff. As always, there'll be some more McFarlane Batman before we have to give up the ghost on that. And other stuff. So, hey, hang loose and stick with me, and we'll see you another day.